YouTubers, this is the Don coming to you with another how-to video. Today we're going to be talking about the dragons. So we got this update like a month and a half ago or so, and it was pretty dope. So you get these little dragons that are supposed to give you bonuses to PvP power, damage, HP on your exo and deployed heroes. And everybody was pretty excited. So I didn't really have too much interested into the dragons or invested into the dragons, just because I didn't want to blow a bunch of money on something that I didn't think was going to be worth it in the end. But basically all the info that I have to give one big old shout out to Adil. He's our vice or co-leaders for our alliance here. He's actually online with the 2,429,671 power. It's ridiculous. He's got almost twice as much, or he does have twice as much power as I do. So big shout out to him. I actually talked with him for a little bit about the dragons and found out some interesting things that I guess the core end games isn't really telling people, or they're not transparent about anything. So we're actually going to take a look at his dragons right quick, because my dragons aren't anything compared to his. So right here we have a level 30 Spring Dragon God, and he has 1 star on him. And then we have here a level 100 Summer Dragon God. We have a level 18 Fall Dragon God, and we have a level 12 Winter Dragon God. So what these guys do, I can't really see on his just because it doesn't give me the description like it does on mine. So going back to mine real quick. I'm going to show you how to get these dragons first of all. So we'll start out there. So if you actually go to your gameplay, scroll all the way down, you'll go to Dragon City Mine Battles. Now on this map right here, you'll see a bunch of different cities, and I'll explain a little bit about some of them. So if you see Dragon Heart City right here, if you click on it, you see this little glowing chest in the top left. If you click on that chest, it gives you a god chest every 2 hours you occupy this city. So this one's kind of hard to occupy because a lot of the highest power people are going to be following this one around. So if it ends up being on your guys' city that you guys that your alliance has taken over or whatever, expect to be booted off. And then once that chest thing goes away, they'll probably all follow it so you guys can get your city back. But then we have this one right here. So it's a little cloud. And what this one does is all mine production decreases 20%. So if you look at the crystals per hour, they're actually only getting 560 crystals per hour. And it has no ruler, so they don't get any bonus also. But if you look at any other, let's find one that isn't owned by somebody. Okay, so if you actually go to it, a silver mine should be giving you at least 700 dragon crystals per hour. So you're losing out about a couple hundred. It's not the end of the world, especially if your guys' alliance isn't as strong as everybody else. You could probably all go to whatever city is down like this and take it over. You'll have a decrease of 20%. But if you guys own the city, like if you see at the top left, your production is increased by 20%. And this depends on what city you guys own or what capital or town or anything like that. But I believe these smaller ones, these ones will actually give I think it's 18%. And then the higher or the bigger the city, the capitals and the regular cities and whatnot, those ones will give more for owning them. So if you look at, we looked at the top left one, we looked at that one, let's look at this one. So this one actually gives a bonus to 20% to all mines. So actually, the ones with silver cities give a 16% for owning them. the ones, so that would be just a regular town. So towns give 16%. I believe cities will give you 18%, and then capitals, if you own a capital, it'll give you 20% bonus. So, I mean, depending on how strong your alliance is and how coordinated and organized you guys are, you guys can take over a capital and end up getting a 20% bonus instead of having a town at 16% bonus. But on top of the 16 bonus for ruling it, you also have this one right here that gives you 20% to all mines. So that's a pretty good one to actually have. So you're actually getting like 40% bonus, or 36% bonus with if you guys own it also. So in order to get these, you have to own a city on them. So the capitals, the biggest ones, they're going to have this little crystal guy right here, right? And this one gives 1,000 dragon crystals per hour. So I would expect that the strongest of the strongest will be on these ones. Next, you got the gold. The gold will give, I think it's 900, but it increases because of the 20%. So I believe it's 900 for the gold ones. And then if you go to the silver ones, it'll be 80 or 800 for silver. And then if you go, or we don't have any on ours, but if you go to the bronze give 600 per hour. And then you have the other ones, I believe they're only in these far cities. So these little dirt clod looking guys. The iron. So iron gives 500 dragon crystals per hour. So if you get on, you got 12 hours per time that you need to take a production mine. So I would schedule your timeouts so that way when you get on, or first thing you get on, or every 12 hours after the first time you take it, you need to make sure to relog back on and take over another city. Sometimes it can be a little hard, especially if you have people that are kicking you off of your own city and whatnot. So my advice would actually be to get on not every 12 hours, but to get on every like 10. And then the reason why I say 10 instead of 12 is you actually can plunder people that are at their max. So if you see the little ring around these people's little timer, there's a little little time device, and it's got a ring around it. The farther around the ring is, the less time that they have or left on it. So they've been on there for a longer amount of time. So if you read this right here, he gains 700 dragon crystals per hour. He has 5 hours and 10 minutes and 37 seconds left. The occupier is Bab Chris, which is his power is 1,315,000. He doesn't have a helper, and his total dragon crystals collected at this mine right now are 4,774. So the importance in this is, if you look at the top right of my screen, you'll see a little question mark next to plunder times. Now you can click on this and it'll give you a little description on everything that can, or the little rules and whatnot. But right next to that question mark says plunder times left 3. So each day you'll actually be able to plunder somebody or multiple people 3 times. And what this does is give you a percentage of the mine crystals that they have collected over the time that they've been at that same mine. So it's not going to give you a total of everything that they've ever collected or everything that they have. It's only going to give you a percentage of the crystals that they have collected in that 12-hour period. So if you get off every 10 hours, you'll actually less likely to be plundered than if you were to be on for a 12 hours period. And the reason why is because usually people like me will go to these cities and start flipping through real quick and just looking for a full bar or something close to a full bar, so that way they can plunder them and take part of their crystals. Once I find a person, I will show you what I am talking about. The other thing is, if you see this city right here, it has the timer, and then it has a little like sword in the top right part of it. So Ryun from the Notorious Alliance, he's actually being protected by Wicked. Now what this does is, if somebody's stronger, a lot stronger than you, comes on, and let's say if their power range is higher than yours by like 100,000 or something like that, typically somebody won't even have to battle you in order to take your city. They'll just auto it, and it'll automatically kick you off, and they'll take the city from you. For your lower players in your guys' alliance, it's good for them to send a request to people that they know to help them, and that'll actually make it so that they help you. So how you do that is, if you go to your city, you click on your city, you click invite to battle assist. Now anybody that's on your friends list will pop up on this little list right here, and what happens is, if somebody's already assisting somebody, or if they have already assisted somebody for that day, it'll tell you on the right that they can't help you. And then if you look, anybody else that it says invite will actually be able to help you. Anybody that you've ever added but they haven't added you back, like Doom right here, it's going to say that you can't invite them because they're not actually your friend. They'll be on your friends list and you can see when they're online and offline and whatnot, but they won't be able to help you. So we're going to take another look, see if we can't find somebody that I can plunder. Let's go to 30-30, see if they got anybody that's almost full. So he's a little hard. So this guy's got 1,000,000 power. His helper has 1,417,000 power. That's going to make it a little hard, but screw it. Let's try it anyways. So normally I wouldn't do this, because if you waste, you only get so many times a day that you can actually help or get helped by somebody. So if you waste your guys' plunders and you can't beat the people that are assisting them, you'll actually lose out on that plunder, which makes you'll lose out on that amount of crystals that you've gotten. So thankfully I beat this guy. Morbid, apologize. I had to use you in my video, but so I hit the other guy, but since he's being helped by Morbid, I would actually fight Morbid instead of the other guy. And if you can beat them, then you'll take, I think it's 10% of their crystals. So he had 9,720. I just took 972 from him off of that one plunder, and now he's left with 8,751. So it's a pretty good little hit. Let's see, Sorrel, 1,600,000. That's a little high for me. I don't think I'm gonna hit that guy. Let's see what he's got. 7,000. So we're gonna plunder this guy next. So we'll hit him and see. So my power difference between me and this guy was a lot. So we're 200,000. So I didn't even have to actually fight him. And since he wasn't being helped by anybody that's higher power than me, I just auto completed it and took 715 of his crystals. So it's the same thing when somebody else in your alliance, whatever, is asking for your help. If they're really low power, it's good to give them help, just so that somebody like me doesn't come by and take all their crystals, or take 10% off their crystals. He's got 7,000, so we'll plunder him too. Oh yeah, and you can only plunder or attack somebody, take a new city, or occupy every 60 seconds. So it's kind of annoying that you can't just do it all real quick. You gotta spend at least like 3 minutes sitting here bullshitting and doing whatever until you can actually plunder these people. So if you want, you can continue looking. I'm not going to, just because I've got plenty of crystals right now, and I'm, like I said before, I'm not too worried about getting my dragons up real high at this point. I'll explain why later, or here in a second. So I just plundered my 3, collected a couple hundred or 1,000, I think roughly 2,000 probably. Um, but so now that I've plundered all the way over here, even though my mine is in the forest capital, right? Since I plundered this city over here, I had to use, I think it was 3 or 4 of these little movement tokens in order to plunder them over on that side. And when I, at my 10-hour mark or my 9-hour mark, when I reset my mine, I'll actually have to spend another 3 or 4 moves just to get back over to my area, which kind of sucks, but it prevents a lot of people from being able to go too far and jump back and forth as much as possible. So it's good, but it's not. So yeah, it would take me 3 to get back to where I'm at right here, but I'm gonna wait on it. And if you look at your movement tokens, you get 10 a day roughly, or I believe it's on a timer. Sometimes I'll jump on and I'll be full. Sometimes I'll jump on 12 hours later and I'll still be at 4, So I'm not sure if they just give you 10 a day and that's what you get, or if it's on some sort of timer like your energy or your mana and whatnot that you can use. But you get 18, you can buy 18 of them a day. And what this comes out to, I believe it's based off your VIP level also, so mine might be a little higher than some people's, or there's obviously VIP 12s that would be able to buy more than I can. But if you were going to buy 18 moves a day, it's going to cost you roughly 1,000 gems, or like $20 roughly, or right around $20. It's not something that I would spend a lot of money on. I did it a few times just because we had people trying to take our city, and I had to expel them all and just keep hitting them because they keep hitting me back, and it was just a big old war mess. But it's good if you're friends with some of the higher ups, or create naps with everybody. A nap is NAP for acronym, and what that means is a non-aggressive pact. And what you do with that is basically you make a consensus with another alliance that, hey, I'm not gonna plunder you, and I'm not gonna occupy your mine cities or anything like that if you don't plunder us and occupy our mine cities. So we have a couple NAPs with some of the higher ups. I believe it was the Immortals. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I believe the Immortals, and there was a couple of other ones. I can't remember. I think it was Legends. So Immortals and Legends, I'm pretty sure we have an NAP with them, so that way we're not fighting each other so much. Obviously, they have the other 2 capitals. We have another capital, and then there's a 3rd capital down here, the Blizzard, that nobody currently occupies, but like you can see, the 1,900,000 power guy is actually the one who owns that city. There's a guy on ours right now. I believe he's 3 million. Yeah, 3 million power, Maelstrom. Crazy shit. So I believe he's the strongest person in this game right now, between all the servers. I'm not sure about the C servers. Oh, excuse me. I'm not sure about the C servers, so they could be completely different. But, so, and when you assist somebody else also, I'll show you that real quick. When you assist somebody else, and I had somebody that I know send me a request, it says it down here in the bottom left. I am assisting Emmaus in battle. Now, if you wanted to stop assisting them, all you would do is click the X and cancel the battle assist. But you would lose your assist for that day. So, I mean, choose wisely, You don't want to just assist somebody and then have them move cities or something like that, and then they lose their assist on you, and you just wasted your assist for the day. It's kind of bullshit in my opinion, but it is what it is. Oh, so I got a new little mount here. He's a cool little guy. I'm gonna show you him right quick. Boom, Abyss Lion, nice and cool. Looks like a dragon or like a lion with a bat and a scorpion on the back with his little stinger. That's kind of cool, but it is what it is. So back to the dragons. I just I left this one off. I hadn't gotten him yet, just so I could show you guys how to do it. But if you go here, you can go to your level up, or you can go to star upgrade. What level up is it shows you the crystals that you need to level these people up. And then star upgrade you can't get until you've unlocked them at level 10. Oh man, sorry guys. Drank and smoked too much last night. Party! But anyway, so star upgrade is kind of like when I showed you in Adil's. They had the stars in the corner or whatnot. And so that would mean that he upgrade his star amount. And dragon. So he's got a 1 star in the summer or spring god, and then a 1 star on the summer god. So once you get past level 10, you can actually upgrade those star levels. But so here we go. Let's get this dragon. So what I did was I clicked get now, or go get, and basically all this does is take you to your store. So if you don't want to go in through that way, you can just click your store, go over to dragon crystals down here, and what this does is allows you to buy them. So the other way is kind of easier just because it opens it right up and you can see which one you want and bring it over there or whatever. But we're going to buy this one right here. Boom. And then we'll go back to my dragon and let's activate this dragon. Woohoo! So for the spring god, every level that you go up, the percentage goes up. But so this one right here, character and deploy heroes recover 0.1% HP every 5 seconds, effective in battles. I don't understand that. But then you got your PvP dragon, which is your summer dragon god, and he gives well, at mine's current level 2, he gives PvP power effect increase to 14%. Then to the fall dragon god, you get 1%, or during versus battles, damage increases 0.1% every time your HP decreases 10%. Then you have your winter dragon god, increases exo and deployed heroes HP by 3% of your power, effective in versus battles. So the thing that I really just wanted to do with mine was get up my PvP power. So I did invest a little bit, just enough to get this guy up to level 2. Oh man, sorry guys. And the conversation that I had with Adil was less than intriguing about, the dragons. I mean, it was a good conversation. It taught me a lot, but the main point of the whole thing is that all of the dragons are going to be or have already been nuked, and they've definitely been debuffed. So basically, all the ones that say in versus battles, your PvP power, HP on the exo and endo, or your deploy and everything like that, it's basically just going to be in effect when you're doing a PvP battle against a bot. So it wouldn't have any effect on Apex. It wouldn't have any effect on 3v3 or the Wilds battles if you're killing people in there. Anywhere that you're actually fighting somebody live, PvP battles, it wouldn't have any effect. What it would have an effect for is arena, and that's just kind of garbage anyways, because you can beat anybody as long as you run around enough and ult them enough times or whatnot. Or your, what's that one called, the 2v2, when you battle for coins, that one it would work on. But nothing that it would really matter, so it kind of just made this whole dragon system setup kind of BS as far as, the PvP power guy. And then for the character and deployed hero recover 0.1% HP every 5 seconds. They were doing some testing with this one, just running simulated battles and whatnot, and it actually is only in effect after your endo hero has been killed. So your character has to be in the red in order for you to gain 0.1% HP every 5 seconds. And it's kind of garbage because You basically, once you lose your Exo and your Endo heroes, you're pretty weak. Your attacks and everything like that are, half of what they should be. So, it's better off just to end up dying and then coming back at full power than to try to survive with, your Exo and Endo heroes gone. So that kind of makes this one garbage. Your Fall Dragon God, during versus battle, damage decreases or increases 0.1% every time your HP decreases 10%. So let's say you lost 90% of your health, right? And I'm not sure if that includes your Exo and Endo hero. I believe it's just based off of your main character's HP. So once your main character's HP has gone down 90%, you'll only increase your damage, not even 1%. It'll be 0.9%, which is kind of ridiculous because 0.9% off of your or increase of your damage, depending on if it's just based off of your plus damage or if it's based off of your entire calculated damage. There's not really a way that we can test this one to make sure that it actually works or, figure out if it actually works or not. But regardless if it's max damage or not, 0.9% of your max damage is garbage, especially when they're giving you like 10% damage for your partner to be online. So it's not even 1%, or it's not even 1/10 of what it is when your partner's online and you're attacking something. So that's garbage. Then your Winter Dragon God. So this one would be kind of cool. It says it's effective in versus battles only. So I'm guessing that it's going to be just for, PvP against a bot and not live PvP. So that kind of just, it turns me off to that. But it's also based off of your actual hero's power. So the way that it reads increases Exo and deployed heroes HP by 3% of your power. So we're not sure what the calculation is off of that 3%, of your power. But what we found out is that it's based off your hero's power, your hero's individual power, not off of your full power. So right now I'm sitting at 220,000 power right now, but the increase is actually only based off of your power of your heroes. So my power of my heroes is 23,000 or 230,000. Sorry guys, 218,000 and 134,000. So the HP boost to these monsters isn't significant compared to if it was based off of your entire power, the 1.2 million. If it was off the 1.2 million, it would actually be useful. But since it's not very useful. What I feel like they did here is they put in this update and it was way overpowered. Everybody spent, thousands and thousands of dollars basically leveling up this PvP dragon right here, so that way, because PvP is what the game's about, everything that you do, Apex War, Twilight, everything that's kind of important is all based off live PvP battles. And so people that dropped thousands and thousands of dollars into these dragons, mainly the C servers and really old servers like that, dropped a buttload of money into this. And then people complained that the power increase, or not the power per se, because it's only effective in a battle, but the PvP power increase was ridiculous, Yeah, sorry guys, I'm gonna get a drink of water real quick. So the PvP power increase boost off of this was ridiculous. And so now they've nerfed it, or debuffed it, however you want to say that. And they're actually supposed to be giving back the older servers, from what Adil was telling me, that they're actually giving them back 30% of whatever somebody's invested into it. So it's not that they're getting all their money back, but man, if you got that guy at level 100, I mean, you spent a good little amount on this game, and to only get 30% back off something that's basically useless now is kind of ridiculous. But we haven't seen anything in our server period about it, about getting a refund or getting back anything, or even an update stating that what it's actually going to entail. So we're not sure if they just kind of ninja nerfed our servers and they're not compensating it for it, or if we're just going to be, everybody's spending money on the dragons right now, so they may not nerf it until after everybody kind of is done spending money on the dragons. So my biggest advice is, don't put money into these guys. They're not worth it. They're not worth it at all. And even if they were, if they are to you, cool. But if you can't beat somebody in bot PvP, then, you probably shouldn't fight that person. That guy that I just beat earlier in the dungeon mine, he was 200,000 more power than I was, and I beat him. It just kind of depends on your style of fight and what skills you use when, and this, that, and whatever, and trying to dodge their attacks and that. But they're not worth it. I would not suggest spending any money on these guys at all. Maybe this guy, Winter Dragon God, later on, if they do decide to use it based off of your total power and not just that individual hero's power. But even if they do that, if it's only based off of bot PvP battles, it's not worth it. Maybe it could be worth it if it worked on defense. So I'm not sure if it only works if you're the bot, or if it only works when you're fighting the bot. But I imagine it would just be when you're fighting the bot, so it wouldn't even really help you in arena or anywhere that you would want to stay, keep your rank and whatnot. But these are all just speculations at this point. The only thing we know is that the PvP dragon is definitely being debuffed and becoming useless, and the rest of them are basically garbage too. So play the mines, do what you're gonna do. Obviously it's a part of the game, and some people like to just complete everything 100%. So if that's what you're into, go right ahead. But I would just, do it like I've been doing it, and just get them as you get them and upgrade them as you can. So if actually you see my Spring Dragon God, right now he's at 50 HP. I'm about to upgrade him. He's going to go to 60 HP. It costs 900,000 coins. So if you're kind of low on coins, this isn't something that I would spend your coins on. I would wait and spend it on something that's a little bit more useful. And your power doesn't even really go up too high after you upgrade them either, so it's really not that huge of an update as far as like something that you need to do. But that's what I got for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and you got the warm and fuzzies about the dragons, and I hope nobody spends on it. Hopefully if everybody doesn't spend on it, especially the new servers that are just getting these updates and they don't know that that the dragons kind of suck, and they're just super stoked and excited to blow a bunch of money into them. Tell them not to. Let's get some real updates from Korean games. If we don't spend money on something, then they're gonna try to come out with new content, and the more new content, the better the game should get. But garbage ones like that don't even really increase your power and don't increase your effectiveness of your character, they're basically just money grabs. They're updating something so that people have to put, or that people that can put money into it will, and it won't help anybody else, it won't help anybody in the end. So my advice is to steer clear of spending money on that. If you already have, I'd probably put in a request, ask them about, the nerf and see what they say, if they would tell you, in your message. If they do, I would love to see a screenshot of it and see what they say, post it in my comments. That would be awesome. But, you know, if nothing else, I'd request my money back from it. And hopefully you get that through. But, you know, most games, they don't, once you spend money on it, they don't like to give you your money back. So expect a fight. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it was a good learning experience. Until next time, I'll probably be doing another zombie video and some other things, just because there's some news information that I'd like to put out, some more explanation on things. But for now, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.